Hi, welcome to this month's episode of Tea with Lisa. It's November, so this month we're going to be talking about traveling as a person with disabilities. I have a special guest here today, Miss Carol Spurgeon, and she is a licensed travel agent and the owner of Getaway Tours and Travels. So with that, let's get into it. So Carol, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do as a travel agent?
Yes, I am so happy to be here today to share with you. I have been a travel agent since 2011.
Okay.
It has been my desire to assist people in finding the dream vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not a dream vacation, it's a must go.
Yeah.
Must get away. I work very diligently to make the planning, the booking, all of the accommodations, anything extra that comes into it,
Okay.
anything that goes with making that trip or that event go as smoothly as possible.
Okay.
That includes everything from getting the resources for travel documents,
Okay.
finding ways to get people from one spot to the other without having to figure it out on their own.
Okay. Yeah.
And sometimes when people get to where they're going, they get a little bit confused and things happen. So I'm always there as that connector
Okay.
before the trip, during the trip, and even after the
Okay.
trip to follow up to see what went well, what needed to be changed, and how we can do it for the next time.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, do you often get calls with someone in the middle of a trip?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You do it from beginning to end,
From
literally.
beginning to end, and sometimes I get calls while I'm on a vacation.
Oh.
But that's not a problem because I'm always open.
Yeah. Well, can you share your experience in planning accessible travel itineraries for clients with disabilities?
Yes, I've had very often have had the opportunity to work with clients who like to travel, but have difficulty traveling because they have certain medical conditions,
Okay.
certain physical conditions that require them to have their at-home treatments
Okay.
and at-home accessibilities to travel with them.
Okay.
Sometimes it depends on what the accessibility need
Okay.
is. Now, the first thing, let's talk a little bit more about what accessible travel means.
Okay.
Accessible travel is more about than just getting from one place to another.
Yes.
It's about ensuring that everyone, including people with disabilities, can experience the joy and freedom of exploring the world on an equal playing field just as much as anyone who does not need any extra accommodations.
Yeah.
So accessibility means that I'm going to be able to enjoy what anyone else can enjoy.
And it can be stressful traveling.
It can
As
be
a person
stressful.
with disabilities, I went to Kansas City last year for a conference for work, and we had to take obviously extra steps because I use a mobility scooter.
Right.
So there were extra steps involved with the airline and registering as a special needs
Exactly.
consumer, and then had to give them the measurements of the scooter and the weight and all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't have known, I had to research that to figure that out, as well as getting a shuttle to the Atlanta airport that could transport the mobility scooter.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of things. I can't just jump in a car and go to Atlanta and jump on a plane. So.
Well, my experiences in planning and booking accessible travel has been fairly easy at times because sometimes the complexity of the need is not as much as others.
Yeah.
But there are times when the circumstances, the conditions, so we'd have to research what is available, how much is available, and how much the client can take care of themselves if they have a caregiver or a family member who's traveling with them.
Yeah.
Those things, the complexity of the need often determines how much input and research I have to do. Now, you mentioned the sizes and weights of the scooters, wheelchairs. All those things I would have access to because I would research with the supplier.
Okay.
What is allowed, what they provide,
Okay.
how much they can accommodate. For instance, a person going to the airport, maybe a senior citizen who may have difficulty moving around, getting from the entrance to the airport to getting into the ticket gate, getting from the ticket gate to the terminal.
Yeah.
I often eliminate that by just absolutely setting them up on their airline ticket with requests for assistance from the entrance to boarding and getting off. And when they get off, someone's waiting there with a wheelchair. They may not need a wheelchair, but it makes the process easier to get to the luggage, get back to your next connection, and no one misses anything. So that makes a lot of difference.
Oh, and it makes a big difference and take a lot of stress off.
It does.
Take a lot of stress off the traveler as well. So you have had a lot of experience with trying to book stuff for persons with various disabilities?
Well, actually, right now I'm doing my own family. They're planning a family cruise for next year.
Okay.
And it's my brother, who is 62 years old.
Yeah.
And he has never traveled beyond the community level where we could drive in a car and get in and out.
Okay.
So the sisters wanted to take him on a cruise. They booked the cruise, and he has severe case of cerebral palsy.
Okay.
Which means he's non-mobile.
Okay.
He has to be able to get in and out of a shower with a wheelchair.
Okay.
And now the siblings who decided to take him, they have some disabilities. So we're working on planning everything around. There we go.
Yeah.
We're working on planning everything around his room being an accessible room on the cruise ship, their room being accessible, proximity, caregivers, and all those things will be tied into that. And on a cruise ship, just like on going to the airport, you have crew members who are designated to assist for taking care of those things and getting people where they need to be.
Okay. Well, what are some of the most common challenges you encounter when arranging accessible travel, and how do you overcome them? I think we kind of touched a little bit on it, but if you want to go into that a little bit more.
Well, some of the most common challenges that I've found that can certainly impede the planning and securing the best options when a traveler needs, special need travel accommodations, a lack of awareness, not knowing what is available, how it would affect your travel, and whether it could cost you more money because you didn't have everything in place, inadequate infrastructure in destinations, because not all destinations are suitable for accessible travel. There are some that are. A shortage of reliable information about accessibility options. That is often something that you have to do a lot of leg work to get to the bottom of. And other difficulties include a lack of universal standards between suppliers. Not every supplier, not every airline, not every cruise ship, not every train or hotel have the same standards. So you'd have to have someone to be able to research that, find out what they are before you put money on something you think is a really good trip. The trip might sound exciting, but before you put money on it and book it, you need to know whether or not that's going to be suitable for you.
Yeah. So, persons that are like visually impaired and stuff, how do you deal with those challenges?
Well, I've had clients who had visual disabilities and cannot maybe see, but they can hear. So the hotel room has some rooms that are designated for that, by having a sound alarm. If a door is open or something happens too close to certain areas, that alarm would go off, and they can beep and they can tell where they are. I had one client who was suffering from some early dementia, and his wife was really concerned with him leaving the room without her knowing it. So we had it set up with the cruise cabin crew. That alarm would be set, that door opened, it went off, and she knew exactly where he was.
So, Carol, could you highlight some destinations that are particularly known for their accessibility?
Well, mostly anywhere in the U.S., because the United States has spent a lot of time and effort building up the areas for individuals with disabilities that would apply accessibilities for those with disabilities, whether it's for access to work or sites, schools, national parks, even cruise ships. However, some places or cities might have other architectural or infrastructural problems, such as in New York City, Boston. Might not be as easy to get in and out of certain venues in a wheelchair or a scooter as in some places like Augusta, Georgia. Theme parks, such as national parks, such as Disney World, Universal Studio, Yellowstone, they've invested a lot in making their facilities accessible. Now, Barcelona has been noted to be one of the world's best-known destinations for wheelchair users. Spain is one of the most disability-friendly countries. It's easy to get around Barcelona city center. And use public transport. There are excellent access to tourist attractions and landmarks. There are even beaches that are fully equipped for disabled. Now, you might not think that, because what happens when you roll a wheelchair in the sand? It's not good. Well, you have those wheelchairs that have the big balloon-like inflatable tires that roll right over the sand. And here, you probably have to buy your own. But in some of those countries, they are provided as an accommodation. So you can do that.
Thank you. Now I know I got some destinations in my mind now. So, are there any additional fees associated with booking trips for clients who have a disability?
There are definitely the option for additional fees to come into play, especially if you don't plan properly, you don't plan far enough in advance, and if you don't have your resources lined up.
Okay.
Now, like I said, when you're trying to plan on your own without the help of a travel agent or someone who has access to that, you really put yourself in a position to have missed on the opportunity to have your people in place. Do you have a caregiver? Are you going to be going solo? Do you have accommodations that require someone else to be paid to help you along the way? Because number one is if a hotel has 25 rooms, that hotel may only be required to have 1 or 2 accessible hotel rooms.
Yeah.
So if you book the hotel not knowing that your room will be available for an accessible hotel, you may end up with a regular room that may cost you more in the long run because you have to try to figure out how to maneuver that setting. And it may not be on the and sometimes you can get a discount, but you may not be able to do that if you don't do it in advance. Don't forget to factor in if you have a caregiver or someone who's traveling with you. That may be a fee. And if you do not have, if you are just, let's say you're traveling with a family member or a caregiver, and you need 2 single supplements because you're going to have your own room. And you haven't planned for it. Single supplements on hotels, often group trips like cruises or even a resort trip.
Yeah.
They're normally double what a couple would pay.
Oh, really?
So if you decide to take a cruise and you're going to go by yourself, the cruises and hotels are booked on based on double occupancy.
Okay.
So if it's $500 for 2 people, based per person based on 2 people, and you're only going to be in that room by yourself, you're going to pay for 2 people.
Oh.
So that's something you need to be concerned with.
Yeah.
And then you have to factor in surcharges, flights, meals, travel insurance, and gratuities. And that's before you even factor in your assistant's wages if they charge you to travel with you.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, could you share some examples of booking accommodations for various types of travel, like plane, train, boat?
Well, for instance, if you're going to travel on the plane, like I said before, wheelchair assistance from the arrival to the gate, and then to, on and off the plane, to the ticket booth, seating arrangements, where you sit on the plane. Do you need to have an aisle seat? Do you need to have a seat that is in first class? Or you need to have extended leg room? Or do you need to have more than 1 seat? Those kind of things. The trains also allow for you having wheelchairs, scooters in the compartment, as well as having the sleeping. If you have a sleeper car, whether you have a sleeper car or what they call a relaxing car, because some of the trains you can sleep and have a bed, but you need to be aware that sleeping in a train cart is not like having a full-size bed, and it's normally it's kind of like a bunk, so you got to be able to get in and out of it. But if you are needing accessibility, they will arrange that so that it's set for one person's.
Okay. So with a service animal, as far as a plane goes, do you have to buy a seat for the service animal, or how does that work?
That has been the practice, and that's something that's kind of up for discussion again. But normally you do have to take care of that.
Oh, okay. So you'd have to buy 2 seats in.
Yes.
Okay, so the dog couldn't just stay on the floor. Okay.
No, he has to be in a seat. Now, in a hotel, many hotels are pet friendly, and service animals are allowed in, but there are some hotels that only allow pets, even the service animals, on certain floors and in certain rooms at the hotel. Because many people are allergic to animals or afraid of animals, so they don't want to have them in the rooms that everyone frequents, so they would have like a section. They're not going to, block you off and hide you out. There's a section of the hotel where animals are allowed. So that would have to be arranged ahead of time as well.
What advice do you have for travelers with disability when it comes to preparing for a trip?
Well, there's a lot of stages. I would say that before the trip, thoroughly research accessibility. If you're working with a travel agent, drill that travel agent. Get everything you can. whenever I talk to a person about planning a trip, I build a profile for that person. And I go by whether it's individual travel, whether it's group travel, what your accessibility needs are, medication needs, and I build all that, put that together.
Okay.
And then I start building where and what would accommodate you.
Okay.
So it's not like we can just say, okay, we're going to go to Spain and we're just going to hit the town. We need to know what is available. Whether you have medication needs that can be carried.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. Whether you need to have a CPAP machine. Whether you need any electrical equipment.
Okay.
Because when I travel with my CPAP machine, I have, it might not look like it now, but I have a really serious lymph problem.
Okay.
And everywhere I go, I carry this electric pump.
Okay.
These huge pumps that go on your legs, and I have to have that authorized before. And it has to be in a carry-on bag. So you can't just put it in your suitcase.
Okay.
And then I can't carry an extra plug because they're not allowed. So I have to make sure that I let them know ahead of time that I need that equipment. And when I get to where I'm going, I just request the extra extensions and they bring that to me that fits their electrical supply. And carry the necessary documents that show that you need that medication, those medical equipment, and request support early. Don't wait until something happens. And always keep a copy of your travel agent or your personal contacts information for someone else to be able to contact. And I can't stress it enough. Always purchase travel insurance. As quickly as you can. Now, it's normally advised within 7 to 14 days of making that booking that you purchase travel insurance. Because travel insurance is vital. Travel insurance insurance that you have at home does not cover you while you are away from home. You may need to be hospitalized in a foreign country. You may need to be repatriated if you pass away in a foreign country. Your home insurance does not cover that. So insurance for treatment on the ship, at an airport, or someplace like that is covered, and there are many different third-party insurances that cover a lot of things. So I would always suggest to anyone who's traveling. I even offer my clients who are taking a trip from Augusta to Atlanta, you want to get travel insurance. They often say no. Then I get a call and say, they can't find my luggage. It's gone. But guess what? It's sitting outside in the rain somewhere. And when they find it, they may call you, but it's wet, and they're not going to reimburse you for it.
Well, what resources or tools do you recommend for travelers seeking accessible travel information?
Well, first of all, the internet is a good place to start. Don't stop there.
Everything's on the internet.
Don't stop there, because AI is not always accurate. But in general, that's a good place to start, just to get a general idea of some place you might want to go, or some things you might want to participate in. But then I do recommend you consult a person who is trained in researching, booking, and planning those trips for you. Because oftentimes when we can book an airline ticket online, and you'd be amazed at the mistakes a lot of people make in purchasing an airline ticket. It may seem simple.
So the internet is the best place to start, but then follow up with someone who's knowledgeable. Knowledgeable and experienced in dealing with.
If you're interested in a particular location, you can also go to that place website. If you want to go, if it's a European place or Savannah or Hilton Head, go in and look at their site. And you can also order a brochure that will give you information on what attractions are in that area. You can look at it physically, and then you can start thinking about what it is you want to do and put it together.
Good. All right, Carol, I want to ask you, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience? And if you could tell them how to reach you if they have a need to contact you and want to book a trip or something.
That would be wonderful. I am listed on the internet at getawaytnt.com on my website. And you can leave a message on that website, and I'll receive it there. And if you're looking to book a trip, you can always leave a message there, or you can call me at 706-840-2790, or you can visit me at 3124 Washington Road, Suite B in Augusta. And if you are interested in the information that we talked about here today or other information regarding travel, you may check me out on a radio podcast on Mondays at 12:45 p.m. at WDRB Media, and you'll be listening for Get Up and Go Radio with your host, Carol, the Travel Guide. We look forward to seeing you.
Well, Carol, I want to thank you so much for coming on and talking about traveling with disabilities and stuff with us. I hope you were able to get some good information from our guest, Miss Carol Spurgeon. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And if you want to keep up to date on what's going on with Walton Options, you can always go to our website at waltonoptions.org and check out our calendar of events and see what's going on. If you have any questions about disability-related issues, feel free to call us here at the office at 706-724-6262. And again, we'll see you next month. Bye.